What's up, everyone? How are you doing today? I'm here with my wife, Isabella, from Brazil.
Hello, I'm Isabella, Tim's wife.
And as you can see, well, maybe you noticed the city behind us is New York. So we live in Sao Paulo, Brazil, but I'm from New York. And I thought I would take the opportunity today to talk about what I think is the most important thing in couples from different countries. Of course, there are good pieces of advice for couples in just in general, respect, love, admiration. But I think there's something specifically important that you must do if you are from different countries that speak different languages. And that is learn the language of the other person. At least to a practical level where you can have some conversations, order food at the restaurant, talk with the family. So that's been my experience. And Isabella, what do you think about that?
So I think everyone that has a experience in relationships would be the first thing that people would say that is good to have is communication. But
Mm-hmm.
communication sometimes can be kind of tricky when you don't know the other person's language.
Language and also culture. I think language is just a window into another culture. Language and food are probably the best windows into another culture. So I think you need a good level of the other person's language and also a good understanding of the other person's culture. I think they go hand in hand.
Yeah, I think like when me and Tim started like seeing each other, it was really fun for me to see his reaction about my culture and also like see that some like being kind of like impressed with the things that he already knew about Brazil. So for for sure, like he fell in love first with my country, then we fell in love with each other, and I think for sure this would be was really important for us.
Yes, I only fell in love with Brazil first because I met Brazil first. You, I met already a couple years after I was visiting Brazil, but you've definitely changed my perspective on Brazil. And I used to feel like a foreigner, and now it feels like my home because of you.
Oh, that's so cute.
And one thing that I really admire about you is how well you can speak to my family members, my friends, and really feel like part of the family and feel like part of the friend group. And that's definitely because your English is really good. You have a very good understanding of American culture and just people in general. It makes it so much easier to go places and do things. I don't have to worry, oh, will Isabella make friends? Is she going to have a good time? Because I know you will. And I know that you'll talk to people. So I think communication is really important. And I've gotten so many requests from Brazilians who are married to a foreigner, usually an American, and they want the person to learn English. Of course, learn Portuguese. I hope they know English already, but and vice versa. But I've noticed usually Brazilians are more. It's more likely that the Brazilian will learn English than the American will learn Portuguese. So I'm trying to
Yeah.
change that a little. So
Hmm.
if you are married to a Brazilian, or if you're Brazilian watching this video and you want your husband or wife or boyfriend or girlfriend to speak Portuguese, I have a little mentorship program. I'll leave the QR code here and also a link in the description where you could reach out to me on WhatsApp if you want to learn Portuguese. I think it's really useful.
I think like even if you're not in a relationship or you want to meet someone or you want to go to Brazil and you want to be like, oh, I want to order in a restaurant or I want to know like how which skills I need to be to grow and myself to go to Brazil or to meet people from there. I think it will also be a really good and
Mm-hmm.
good thing to do because like Tim's been going to Brazil since like I don't know how many years already.
2017,
Yeah, since
and we met
2017.
in 2021.
So I think like he always uh, he always know what exactly inside like Brazilian culture and also his Portuguese is very good.
It starts with a curiosity. Curiosity is probably one of the most important things. People say, "Oh, wow, you're good at languages. You must be really smart." And well, thank you. I hope so. But I think my main skill is just curiosity, appreciation for other cultures. I never thinking that I know everything, even if I've been there for 50 years. even like now I come back to the United States and I treat it like a foreign country. I'm like, oh wow, that's interesting. I never realized that about our culture, or I never appreciated the good things about our culture, or maybe noticed some things that I don't like. So it gives you a kind of new set of eyes when you come back to your country too, especially after you've traveled the world, learned other languages, learn that different languages express things differently. I think Brazilian Portuguese is very affectionate.
Yeah.
So we had a wedding here, and she wrote all the thank you cards, and people in my family were sending me messages. Oh my God, that was the nicest thank you card I've ever received. Because Brazilians are so expressive with their words. Like even when they wish someone they barely know happy birthday, they'll send like 3 paragraphs. God bless your life. May all your dreams come true. And we won't even get something like that from a close family member. So it's really interesting that some languages express emotions very well, but I think English does other things very well. It's international language of business, so a lot of business terms. English is a very practical language. It's an efficient language. It's great for writing and humor. I find a lot of things funny in English, but then Portuguese is also funny, and Brazilian Portuguese has a different way of expressing humor than Portugal. So if you were dating a Portuguese person, I don't necessarily think Brazilian Portuguese would be the thing you should study. You should probably learn the Portuguese mind. Same thing with Spanish. Okay, which type of Spanish do I want to learn? Okay, if you want to learn, if you're dating an Argentinian, if you want to go to Argentina, it's good to focus on that. If you're seeing someone from Colombia or Spain, that would be probably the best way to approach it.
Yeah.
And one other thing that people tell me, I don't know if it's true. So we talked a lot about people that are already dating or people that are married. But people say of the list of most attractive skills in men, foreign languages are up there, like top 3. Like cooking is high, health, like being a healthy person, active person. But foreign languages definitely put you on a different level. That's what they say. I don't know.
I think so. I think like it shows that you are flexible and open-minded. Like I think like when someone knows another language, it already you have to have this curiosity and have to have this effort, and these two are really important to build a relationship.
And it shows you can dedicate yourself to something for a long period of time.
Exactly.
When I was a kid, I always wanted to be like Jason Bourne. Have you ever seen that movie?
No.
Born Identity?
No.
Where he has a bunch of different passports and he can speak a bunch of different languages.
Yeah, that's almost you.
Yeah, well,
you're working in there.
You have
Brazilian
2 passports. I only have 1. So,
I need my U.S. passport.
Yeah, so when I get my Brazilian passport, then maybe we can get 3 passports. But I just think it's really cool that there are so many. I think in the United States there are around like 600,000 Brazilian American couples, or maybe not in the United States.
That's crazy.
That's the stat I got from ChatGPT. I'd like a better stat from some government organization. But there are a lot of people that have married a Brazilian. Some have done a great job learning the culture. Some are a little shy. I think a lot of people are shy. They're nervous about learning another language. They're nervous about putting on a different persona. I think of languages as like a different persona. You don't change as a person. You're not a completely different person. You don't have a different morality, but you have a different personality. Maybe you're funnier or more lighthearted or more curious. I don't know, I just feel very different speaking in English and speaking in Portuguese, but I don't feel like a different person, but I feel like it's a different form of my personality.
Yeah, and as your wife, I also feel that. From my perspective, I also feel like that I get a different persona speaking English and speaking Portuguese, and also like hearing you speaking English, speaking Portuguese is different. So that's why like I think also as a couple learning like our both languages make you also know the person that is with you better, because you're like, oh, you can also be this, that something that if you were only like an English speaker, it wouldn't be possible.
Exactly. So I think the point of this video is that communication is key in all relationships, but it might be even more important or more challenging in bicultural relationships.
Yeah.
Especially bicultural relationships with a different language. I guess maybe if you were from the UK and from the United States, there would still be some differences in culture, but not as big as, say, United States and Brazil. And I'm sure there's other cultures that are even more different.
And even like sometimes when we're having like
and also sharing is caring. Can you hold the camera for a few seconds?
Of course.
My arm is definitely hurting. That's just a beautiful background of the city. We're here in Jersey City, New Jersey, where I grew up. Grew up in actually in Hoboken and Hudson County. In the United States, also we say counties, where in other countries they don't say what county they're from. They say what state, what city.
But also, like, speaking about serious conversation, sometimes when we're having like I wouldn't say a fight, but like we're having like
Fight. She wants to say fight. She just knows that other people are going to watch this video.
So basically, when you're fighting with your partner or arguing would
having
be
a discussion,
a heated discussion. Sometimes I tell Tim, like, I'm speaking in English with him, but then I have something that only a Portuguese Brazilian speaker could understand. There's some words that only work in my mother language. Modern language it would be.
Yeah, my mother language or my mother tongue.
My mother tongue, and then sometimes I start speaking Portuguese to him, because like sometimes he says, "Oh, you look so angry in English. You look so like right to the point." But then like when I'm speaking the same thing in Portuguese with like more words that I know, like and when I'm expressing with my heart, my feelings with my tongue language.
My mother language.
My mother language.
Tongue, not tongue language. See? But you also get these funny mix-ups. She always laughs at me in Portuguese, and she rarely corrects me. But because I'm an English teacher, I always correct her English. But it's not mutual. She likes when I make mistakes in Portuguese, so she can laugh.
Yeah, but basically, I think like as a couple, you can really. I think it puts a lot when you know both of you know each other's language. Mm-hmm. And also these funny moments are really funny. Sometimes I sit to laugh, like I literally like will sit because I can't laugh.
You will fall to the floor laughter.
Yes.
I think that would be a better way of saying it. Oh, but one thing that you can do that I can't do is sit on the ground. My feet are falling asleep. But
now looking to the camera, Tim.
One final thing that I wanted to not even really a piece of advice, just a funny thing I've noticed. I feel like when we're having a argument, you speak in Portuguese, I understand everything you say, and I speak in English. We don't want to make any mistakes while arguing.
It's true. Now that this is something that we are learning to do, because like it's easier, because we don't want to be like too rude or too.
Some things get lost in translation, but I'm getting much better at arguing in Portuguese. I'm almost a professional. I'm almost a native.
It's true.
And she's very good at arguing in English.
And sometimes I don't even think it's fair when we're fighting and I'm speaking Portuguese and he answers in Portuguese, because it's so cute that I can even get angry at him. So that's like something like a card in his hand that he always like.
The ace up my sleeve, as we say in English.
No,
carta na manga is what you're trying to say in Portuguese.
Yeah, carta na manga.
Well, I think that was basically what I wanted to say here. If you want to learn Portuguese, this is a basic Portuguese crash course. You won't be reading Machado de Assis. You will just learn the basics that you need to have fun at a Brazilian barbecue or churrasco. I'll leave the link, as I said, below, the QR code here. We already have our first batch of students. They're really enjoying the course. And because the feedback was so good, I'll open it up for a second group of students. I'll see you next time. Let me know some other videos you want to see on this channel about travel, language learning, relationships from different cultures. Thank you for your participation, Isabella.
Thank you, Tim.
See you next time. Peace.